Hello there, and we are live. Ryan, man, what a week!
Welcome. Welcome.
What a week! What a week! From the celebrations last weekend, in which every fan base were really hitting at Arsenal about our mode of celebration. Uh, when you look at the table, we're top of the league. We're happy. We can
Yeah.
drink, cup of tea and just relax and just know we're top of the table. Hey guys, you're welcome to the Ryan and Claude show. And today's show, it's going to be a double header. What do I mean by a double header? It's two shows mixed in one. Today, me and Ryan will be previewing the game between Arsenal and Aston Villa, which comes up tomorrow. And also, we'll also be, looking at the
Let's
hindsight about our game, about the game that also happened last weekend, which is against Fulham. Also, we might maybe put in a few transfer talks here and there, and also we should be expecting Deji Spores as it graces the Minority Report on the same stream. So, it's going to be an action packed show which will stretch from 8 p.m. right now as we just started to 10 p.m. UK time. So, after me and Ryan finishes, Deji Spores will be coming in simultaneously on the same stream. So just imagine. Ryan, you're welcome to the show, man. How you doing, brother?
Welcome, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you say, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate
yeah,
being top of the league. Let's celebrate the fact that everyone hates us celebrating. Let's celebrate it
exactly.
even more. Every single goal. Let's set some fireworks off. Let's get confetti.
Mm,
Let's take our tops
exactly.
off and whirl them in the
Exactly.
air. Let's be
Exactly.
let's be
Exactly.
happy. Every other club
Ryan,
can be buzzing in our position.
Ryan, I would just go straight to the point here. Why is it that everyone, like totally everyone, the whole fan base and the whole of the Premiership, are so they're really showing hatred towards Arsenal and the way we celebrate it? It was just all over the news that Arsenal fans were celebrating as if they won the league. But come on, man, when you have 4 games, 4 wins, you're top of the table. Why should you be angry? Can you give us a background to this, Ryan Maguire? Why can't we be happy?
I feel like the way the players that have been there for last season and the season before, they've gone
Yeah,
through the struggles. They're starting to get they're getting wins, and they're getting wins when we weren't getting them, falling behind.
yeah.
Our record last year and the year before, after conceding, we weren't turning it around. But being able to turn it around to get up level and get the win, you could tell that they're just a lot happier that they actually can get that win, and that shows in the celebrations. And
Yeah,
when it comes to the fans, like I don't know, people are hating on it. Like every team celebrates after winning. It seems like we're highlighted
of
for it.
course. Like why is it Arsenal's why why the animosity towards us? Why can't we just win a game and just feel happy and drink some tea? Like why is everyone losing their heads just because Arsenal is top of the league? Like the hatred, even in the media, the mainstream media, the way they talk about it, like Arsenal shouldn't be celebrating like that. Like this is the first time in couple of years, not just couple of years, in almost a decade, that Arsenal find themselves sitting at the top of the league like this, winning 4 matches in a row. And the last time we won 4 matches, uh, just like this, the last time we did that, we performed that fit. We won the league that year. So why shouldn't we, be happy? Why shouldn't we, be jolly and be merry with our families and just sit back and relax and just enjoy that win. It- it's
Exactly.
it's corny to me.
Everyone else is celebrating in that exact same position, especially not being in that position for years and then being there. Um, Obviously, I can't imagine like the likes of City and Liverpool celebrating as much because they've been there, done that in the past couple of years, whereas we've not.
Yeah,
We've not been anywhere near since we moved into the Emirates. Pretty much, there's been one or
yeah,
two seasons where we've come kind of close, but then obviously not been there really. So the fact that
yeah.
we're there at any club, like any club that's not been there or thereabouts and now they're going to be celebrating, and especially tough wins like that, like the Fulham one to turn it around the way they did. That they obviously the, the stress going into it and the performance that they had to put in. It's the relief, and it's the absolute release of it at the end of the game that they're celebrating.
Definitely,
And
definitely.
it's either the fact that they're dinosaurs and they're not used to people celebrating, so
Exactly.
they're either rival fans, even the commentators. Obviously, there's popular commentators at Sport Spurs. There's popular commentators at Sport United.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want
They,
that
they don't
rival.
like us.
Yeah, of course, that's all it's going to be. And if they were in the same position, they'd be celebrating it.
Yeah,
And
they'll be happy. They'll be positive, about the run of games and the kind of run of wins that Arsenal is getting if it was in their team. But anyway, we'll ship respect later. We'll be talking about how other fan bases respect us. But let's just go straight into last week game before we come into the preview of the game against Aston Villa. Hey, Ryan, last weekend, I really had my heart in my on my arms. Last weekend, what was what was Gabriel doing? It was shocking, and come to think about it, Mitrovic, like I said in my other live stream, that Mitrovic is this kind of like player that performs all sort of tricks. Uh, is a dark artist. Is a very very dark artist. He wields that as part of his skill set. Like you could see him, he was pretending all game as if pretending with injuries, pretending with fouls. Just he's just well seasoned with that dark artistry in him. And then Gabriel Magalhaes, knowing the reputation that Mitrovic has, in both in the Championship, both in the Premier League, and then you just go and give Mitrovic a giveaway, and Mitrovic scored. Well, how did you see that?
it just, it, I feel like you feel like you feel like Gabriel's got that in him to just have that slight lapse of confidence just the concentration. He just seems to have it every now and then. He just got that where it's kind of like obviously like Xhaka in a way where he can just 88 minutes be completely on it, and then just 2 minutes just have a slight lapse of concentration. And but in the worst time, in the edge of his box, just just get rid of it.
Just
We've seen it. Obviously, you see it with the Chelsea keeper Mendy last week. He did the same thing.
yeah,
Um,
almost the same thing. Yeah,
yeah, big, even big, even your best players are prone to the mistakes. You just want them to cut it out, and you hope it doesn't actually lead to a loss or whatever. Luckily, it didn't. Yeah, he just has that about him sometimes, and this is like like the Ben White gets hatred a lot, even from our fan base. But I don't see them mistakes in Ben White. I think I see a more level head on him, but is Gabriel just a better out and out defender?
but do you really think
Yeah,
it's something about? Do you think it has to do with the player, or with the way he got that ball? How he got that ball, the position he was in when he got that ball, because he had to take up to three touches before he could be able to balance it out, to be able to even look upwards, to even pass the ball in a way. I think he struggled with the positional play of how he got that ball. in the first place.
Could be, could be, yeah. I can see what you're saying. I just feel like if you are struggling with it and you know Mitrovic is on your back, one touch
Yeah,
and you send it anywhere, even if you're sending it out for a corner or you're sending it out for throwing, at least you're not messing around on the edge of your box, which is it's not where you want to be at all, especially facing someone
yeah.
like Mitrovic, who is just going to smash you to the ground to try and get the ball off you. Just one touch
Just the
and get rid,
complete
just one
giveaway.
get rid of it.
I'm not that kind of fan that wants to like bash, like kind of bash our players and and give them the stick anytime they mess up, but sometimes you just have to call a spade at times, and call a pot a pot, call it black when it's black, call it white when it's white. uh that was horrible defending. That was horrible defending. I was shocked, and it was around 60. I think it was around 63 minutes or so when that goal came in for Fulham. And the next thing that was on my mind was like, how can Arsenal be able to score two more goals? Where do we get these goals from? Can you give us an in-depth analysis of that game? Just a little bit, a short one,
And
before we go into the preview.
I know what you mean, because up 100% up until that point, we we were doing well with the ball, but
Yeah,
in the actual final third in their 12-yard box, it just wasn't. We weren't doing anything like actually like looked like we would get anywhere near scoring a goal.
yeah,
Odegaard for having a really good game, the same issues come up with him for me. The fact that he doesn't, even though he's got like what's he got 3 goals now, he doesn't
yeah.
near as much as what he should do when he's in them good chances. The goal he
Chances,
scored,
exactly.
the goal he scored when he took it off Jesus' feet, I thought was excellent, especially for him, because he doesn't snatch at them chances he gets in great position sometimes and he looks for the pass. There was a movement in the first half where we broke into the box and he tried to slip it for Saka. I think he did,
Yeah.
and then it got took off Saka, so it was a good pass.
In
But
fact, Saka, we really have to talk about Saka, but when you finish, because it's becoming clear that Saka is really having problems fitting into this, into the whole vibe that's really going on. Everyone is really like pushing it, but I'm feeling Saka is really taking a step back. But I'll allow you finish before I get into that question.
Yeah, I think for the way it started the game, I honestly I believe that if we'd have got an early goal
Yeah,
like the early goals we got, say against Bournemouth and against Palace, I think
yeah,
it could have been a lot easier than what it was. Just the fact that
yeah,
we didn't necessarily have our scoring boots on and we couldn't get a goal, and we allowed Fulham back into it with the mistake, like you said. I
yeah,
did feel, even though it was a close score, it didn't feel like a close game. We pretty much had most of the ball, and we had most of
yeah,
the chances. We had it in the danger areas all the time.
yeah.
It was just one of them performances that wasn't 100%, but to not play 100%, to be losing, and like I said at the beginning, to be losing and turn it around, which we've rarely seen. Um, Honestly, I can pick out I think it was Wolves last season, and I can't think of another one. Like when we've gone behind, we've either drawn like the Palace game last season, or we've just lost. And we've had
But
chances and not scored. So the fact that we've brought it around just shows
okay.
we're coming on 100%.
But do you think we really showed that mental strength to actually come back in that game? Because particularly about this Fulham game, because when they scored the goal, Arsenal. I'll go into the possessions later on, but when Fulham scored that goal, it was around the 60, I think 63rd, 64th minute, and at that time, when Arsenal do concede during that period in the game in the second half, we usually bury our heads in shame and just feel sorry for ourselves. And then we start conceding more goals. The second goal we get in, the third goal we get in, sometimes even the fourth goal gets in. Uh, do you really think that we really showed that mental strength, that mental resilience coming back? Does this show you a different dynamic of what Arsenal is going to look like this season?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
this is not the only time that it's happened. It happened in Leicester. Whenever we went down, we always powered up. In fact, replied two straight goals in Leicester. Immediately they scored. They put the ball at the back of our net. We responded very very quickly. Aren't you seeing that changing dynamic with this Arsenal squad
yeah. I
this
mean,
season?
100%. Just the main fact for me was that we was pretty much on top when we conceded, and then we just carried on exactly like we were before the goal. We didn't
Yeah,
drop. We didn't allow Fulham to have more possession. We just carried on
true.
exactly like we were. We were pretty attacking. We had, like I said, we had most of the ball. We had most of the ball all the game, and just the fact that we
Yeah,
just carried on in that exact same route, even when they scored, and hundred
yeah.
percent, 100% against Leicester. I expected Leicester to score. I expected Leicester to score, and then us to do, and then us to either allow them further on us, or just concede. Which luckily enough, we didn't. We scored straight back. Which, from watching Arsenal in the last couple of years, I never expected us to just score straight back.
To just score straight
Yeah,
back, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it just never happens just like that.
No,
Okay, I'll just give you a little bit. Oh, okay. Amy Baba, Top Gunner, is already here. Amy Baba, you're welcome to the show. Hopefully, we make it 5 wins in a row tomorrow against the backdrop of criticisms. Yeah, Amy Baba, I really do think so because it's very, very important that Arsenal make it 5-5. Not just because it's Aston Villa coming to town, it's because we're at home, one. And secondly, we need to come out with a performance, an enviable performance that will just quieten this rivals that are just yapping everywhere. Saying that Arsenal haven't played anybody yet. Uh, we need that performance to really quieten this noise everywhere. What do you think about that, Ryan? Do you think Emi Baba relates to what you think?
Yeah, 100%. Just keep winning. Like I said, keep winning, keep celebrating, just keep doing exactly what we're doing. I don't care who's annoyed by it. If it's rattling everyone like it looks like it seems to be. I mean, listen, we were pushing for leagues and cups for so many years under Wenger until it went a bit
Yeah,
sour. And I
definitely.
think I think other fans have watched us turn their club over every week, and they just were fuming about it. And then we went
Yeah,
we got the
exactly.
boil a bit in these last couple of years, and they thought we were gone. We thought we were dead and buried, and it looks like
Yeah,
we're not. We're back, and they're fuming again. That, oh no, they're going to be turning us over every week.
yeah.
We've got a new Henri in Jesus. Henri was tearing them apart for years. Looks
For
like we've got Jesus
years.
who's going to do that. We've got a new Perez in Martin Odegaard, and we've got the Martinellis. We've got the
Oh,
Lundberg
oh
back.
my God. The
It,
way he was just throwing passes, the way Odegaard was just throwing passes on the day against Fulham, he was match of the day. He got us a very, very vital goal at the point where we really needed him to show up. And with the captains we've always had, maybe apart from Aubameyang in recent years, the captains we've always had haven't really showed up when we really needed them, But I really saw a very, very different dimension to this team last weekend. Odegaard was there when we needed him. We needed a goal to come from somewhere. We never knew where that goal would come from. Everyone was thinking it was going to be Gabriel Jesus. But Odegaard just wields his stick, puts in that first goal into the net. Lovely goal. What do you say about the responsibility and accountability being shown by Martin Odegaard? Is a spec,
yeah,
isn't he?
I agree on the captain's situation. Obviously, I don't agree with the Aubameyang. I don't think he was ever a good captain's choice. I reckon he was.
Anyway, he is one of the FA Cup, with his
He scored
goals.
goals. He
Man
scored
City,
goals.
Chelsea. You can't just really push that aside. Actually, but I'll just listen more to you.
Aubameyang scored goals. Yeah, I get that. But in terms of doing captain's responsibilities behind the scenes,
Mm,
he didn't
mm.
do them. He didn't do them. I
I
know for
totally get that.
I know for a fact. So one of the what I'm speaking to someone. I'll not say who, whatever. But one of the captain's roles is getting tickets for family members of players. That is what a
Yeah,
captain. That's one of the things that they take on. And
yeah,
Aubameyang didn't do it. When Aubameyang was captain, Bern Leno was doing that, and that's
yeah.
a fact. And that just shows it wasn't the. Obviously, it's a popular. It was popular. He scored the goals, but yeah, we'll move on from Aubameyang. But I
Yeah,
honestly,
I'm talking about Aubameyang. We wish Aubameyang and his family a speedy recovery, both mentally and physically. They were boggled and robbed day before yesterday. In a very very serious armed robbery that happened in the residence in Barcelona. They took lots of jewelries and lots of rich stuff away from the house of Aubameyang, and they also pointed a gun at his wife. So we wish him, a speedy recovery
yeah,
out there in Barcelona. Yeah, back to the Arsenal Fulham game
the
last
captaincy. Yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
The last
Odegaard,
one. Okay, yeah. Odegaard. Yeah, you were saying something about Odegaard.
Odegaard does look like he's stepping up to be a good captain. In my opinion, I don't think we've had a good captain since Patrick Vieira.
Hmm,
Obviously, we had Tony Adams, then Patrick Vieira, pretty much. Since then,
yeah,
I don't think we've had a solid captain. We threw it at Henry, I think, because he was leaving. We did the same with Fabregas. Then it
yeah,
was Aubameyang or Lacazette. But I feel like Odegaard's going to be a very stable captain, especially the fact that he's going to be here what looks like for a good few years, captain his national team.
exactly,
100%
exactly.
when we're behind, he's stepping up like a good
Exactly,
captain
and
should.
he has an eye for that pass.
Yeah,
The kind of way he passes the ball, it's just cool stuff. Like the only Arsenal player that used to do that was Mesut Ozil, and since he left, we've never really had that person, to step on, on that shoe and replace Mesut Ozil's passes like that. The other person that had that kind of like keen eye for passes and little dribbles was Santi Cazorla, and he's no more in the club again. So for Odegaard to be given the captain armband and showing this kind of course, the criticism, that went with it when he was given the captain armband this season. Everyone was like, "Hey, this guy's a young guy. He's not experienced enough to handle the club." Well, go ask Manchester United what happened to Maguire, you know but at least we have but at least we have a Martin Odegaard, who has handled that captaincy, very very well, and he's also scoring goals. Mind you, he scored in Bournemouth, and he's also adding more goals to his tally when he scored against Fulham. I'll just give you a quick one with that ball possession for that last game. 72% Arsenal ball possession against Fulham, against 28% for Fulham. 22 shot on goals against Fulham's 11. Shot on goal, goal attempt, sorry, was 22 to 11. Shot on goals were 8 to 3. Shot off goal was 4 to 6. Blocked shot 10 to 2. See, in defensive play, we were so good. In the ball possession, Arsenal 72%. We pretty much controlled that game. And this is what I've seen in the last 3 4 games we've played. Arsenal has always controlled play. We've always had possession. Yeah, it might not be tantamount to the amount of goals that we score, but we're really keeping possession in these games. What do you think about that, Ryan?
yeah. We've always been a possession team, pretty much, especially coming from the in the Wenger years and then forward. That's
Yeah.
always been one of our main things. When we've not had possession, we've struggled in the
Yeah.
past few years. I just obviously we're doing well with the ball at the minute. I just
Yeah.
want to know what we're going to be like when we come up against a team that's going to want possession like we do. Right when if
Yeah.
we play your Cities and your Liverpools and whatnot. Um, just want to see like what we're going to be like when we're not on the ball. I feel like we're more tactically set up for that now. In terms,
Yeah.
obviously, when Zinchenko's back and the players like that, and you get Partey back as well, I feel like we'll be more tactically set up to deal with allowing another team to have the possession. But yeah,
Yeah.
when we've got the ball, we're playing good foot, we're playing 100% good football. It's just
Yeah.
turning that possession into goals, which is what we have been doing. We just need to keep doing that.
Exactly. And top gooners are already coming to the chat already. It's Joy. Joy says here, hi, I hope Arsenal wins tomorrow. My dad is a big supporter of Arsenal. Thank you, Joy. I think we're going to win tomorrow. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Yeah, me too.
Joy, our
Thanks
friend.
for watching. Yeah, I hope we get the win 100%. I feel like we will, but we
Definitely.
need to hope as well.
Definitely. And Ogbeni Ridwan. Yeah, it comes to the show. He's a top gooner. And it says a win for Arsenal tomorrow will surely put to bed the criticisms, regardless of the result. I am keen on seeing the attitude of my players. Um, do you
I
th-
don't think it will put to bed the criticisms. I think we'll get criticised all season,
even
depending
if
on,
yeah,
yeah,
even if we
yeah,
win that match,
depending on
we'll
where
still
we are.
get
If
we'll still
we
get criticized.
if we got to January and won every single game, then we possibly might not be criticised as much.
Yeah.
But um, even if we won all the games for January, they'll still say we're celebrating too much. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
But I feel, yeah, 100. Tomorrow's win won't do it because it's against Aston Villa, which I do get to a degree, but we'll come to Aston Villa in a bit. But
Yeah, we'll come to Arsenal
um,
because
I
we
do,
need to still understand if Aston Villa is still a very, very credible team to beat right now to get any props out of that win in any way. So we really have to talk about that anyway. Okay, before we get into that, okay, Benny Ridwan, thank you for that. And our other lovely friend here, the princess herself, Princess Adora Adibe. Hey, Andy, what was the score of the match? Princess, the match is actually tomorrow. So you have to, join us when we do the post game show. So it's tomorrow. I'll keep
unless
you
she
posted
means
on that,
Fulham,
Princess.
which is 2-1. She might mean the Fulham game.
Okay. Then if it was last week's game, Princess, then it ended 2-1. And the other comment is coming from Amy Baba. And here, Amy Baba says, I like the fact that we can get goals from anyone in the team because the team's cohesion is good instead of over relying on wingers as we did last season. What do you think? He raises a very, very good point because we still have to talk about Saka here, and
Yeah, that's
his
what it's getting at.
dwindling
Yeah.
season. Yeah, yeah. So, what do you think about that comment there?
Yeah, it's what he's getting at. Obviously, last season we were so reliant on Saka, and the fact and is it being the 19-year-old kid coming back from the World Cup that he had to then being so having his club being so reliant on him must have been so much for him, especially at his age, so much to take on.
Yeah,
When we weren't performing, we were looking to him, and even Smith Rowe would come on, score the goals to get us the wins and the results, whatever. And he's just
yeah,
as young. It's just good to see that we've brought in the players, all the players we've had have stepped up to take it off Saka. Obviously, I think like his performances haven't been 100%, but
yeah,
I'm not worried because the rest of the team's stepping up and we don't. It's just good. Like I say, it's just good to not be as reliant on him, no matter what his age is. We got too reliant on Henri, didn't we? And he was fully experienced. The fact that the
yeah.
rest of the teams are picking it up uh, is miles better. And yeah, the team cohesion is spot on.
It's
It's
spot
a
on.
group of players that are really good friends, and the morale it looks very high, and it
Yeah.
seems high even at the lowest points as well. Obviously, I just think going forward, if we keep that up, we're going to hit some stumbling blocks along the way. I feel like we're in that place where we can react exactly how we should do from them.
Okay. Let's go into the next chat here. Ola of the United family. We're gonna have a battle with him on Thursday. And he says, "Yeah, big up Arsenal. You guys are playing real good football." Do you think he means that, Ryan? It's Ola from the United family. Do you think he really means that? He
Yeah,
says we play good football. He's a
I think
Manchester
so.
United fan. Do you think he really means that?
I think so. If it's an open and honest comment, then yeah, then yeah, I mean it's right, which makes you think he might be telling the truth. But
Okay.
I think 100% he'd want United to be playing the way that we are.
Good, then we take that. And here, Tony Gerard TV says, "Hi, Tony and Ryan." So Ryan, Tony Gerard is saying hi. You know, he's a very very big friend of us here.
Nice to see
Ryan,
Tony.
let's go into more of a preview of this Aston Villa match. But I'll just take you through one situation or statistic that is very very important before we get into this game. Arsenal, before the Fulham game, won three back-to-back games. Just oppose that to last season where we lost our first three games against Brentford, Chelsea, and Manchester City. And this season we won three straight, top of the league. Now we've made it four games in four. Last week's game against Fulham made it um, Mikel Arteta's 100th game in charge of Arsenal. And if you check that same point with George Graham, Mikel Arteta has had up to 15 more wins than George Graham. And of course, uh, you can relate to me when we talk about George Graham's importance to Arsenal. And he kind of like equaled Arsene Wenger's fit with that same number of games, 100 games. So, in other words, if he gets a win against Aston Villa, he will surpass Arsene Wenger's record in that 100 game, in his 101st game. So, talking about that, and Arsenal is top of the league right now, dominating games, maybe apart from the one against Crystal Palace, and we're dominating games. And now here we're facing an Aston Villa side that has only won one match in four games, and that match came to lowly and poorly driven Everton team, where they beat Everton 2 goals to 1, and we're playing an Aston Villa team that is right now sitting at the bottom of the Premier League at 16th with just 3 goals scored in 4 games, 7 goals against, and sitting with just 3 points. And mind you, they lost their game against Crystal Palace. What are the main points that you think that we have to watch out in the game against Aston Villa? Do you think Arsenal has to be careful about Aston Villa, or we should just say, "Hey, Aston Villa, you're coming to our home. We'll just dominate you and just smash you guys and give you a beating"? What do you really think about that? With all these records I've already told you about right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, we're looking at obviously we're looking at guarding from complacency, aren't we? Even any team can be sat bottom of the Premier League at this stage of
Yeah.
the at this stage of the of at this stage of the season, and then go on a winning run. It has to start somewhere, so we need to be wary of that 100%. But then don't lose the confidence in ourselves, the confidence that the 4 wins have built up, that we can take pretty much anyone on. obviously, we've got games around the corner that seem to be bigger, especially on paper. But I wouldn't look past the game that you've got, the game that you've got on. You've got
I
a
mean,
couple.
but they don't inspire any. They don't inspire any kind of confidence in themselves. They lost at home to West Ham. They were beaten comprehensively by Crystal Palace, like seriously beaten, 3 goals to 1. Everton, they won Everton 2 goals to 1. Even Bournemouth, even took the snuff out of their faces and beat them 2-0. Bournemouth that just sacked their coach when they received a 9-0 bashing from Liverpool. uh, don't you think that team is quite poor to be able to take a beating from Bournemouth? Don't you think Arsenal should just go in there and have a party?
I mean, yeah, 100%. We should just attack the game exactly what like we've done in the past games. Just go from it from the off. We just get that early goal and then springboard from there. I feel like, like I said, an early goal against Fulham would have made it a completely different game. Just
Yeah,
get in that early goal, make and then just make it a nice feel good game if you would. Just we know what we're capable of against a team like Villa. And
yeah,
just hopefully we show it. Get creative. Um,
yeah.
just get playing like we fully expect them to. If everyone does the jobs on the Arsenal team, it could be an anything score. And like I said at weekend, I thought it might have been a 4-0. I expect Villa to be somewhat the same 3-0, 4-0, 100%.
Exactly. But again, because we need to get into where Arsenal would be battling in terms of the area of action, the heated map area, where we are going to be when we are going to be facing Aston Villa. Their back four doesn't inspire any confidence in itself. They don't even cover themselves in glory at all. They have a Chambers there, they have Konza there, they have Cash, they have Digne. It doesn't really inspire fear, doesn't it? That back four, it doesn't inspire any fear, right?
Yeah, it seems a bit mixed. I don't know. Um, I think like someone like Chambers. Chambers never when he was at Arsenal, he never seemed to fully say what position he wanted to play. I didn't
Exactly.
feel like he was. I feel like he said, "Oh, I want to be a centre back, or I want to be a right back." I'm sure he
Yeah.
was EM at some stages. And,
But he's
uh,
being used as a central defender right now in that Aston Villa back four. He just slots
if
in there,
Callum
but of course he got a mistake or two in it.
if Callum Chambers is your centre back defending for his life
Yeah,
against top strikers, you're in a
top
world of
strikers.
trouble. You're in a world of trouble. He's going to get mauled in it.
Yeah,
I think he was okay as a right back, sub right back. It's not that much as much pressure. But when you're in the middle, pretty much every attack coming through you is aiming at you. It's
yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely in a world of trouble. It doesn't
Okay,
look.
if we're going to the midfield, if we're going to the midfield of Aston Villa, I really think that that's where Arsenal is going to have a little bit of a problem in the mix because of course they have players that are capable of causing damage to any team. Still, even if they've lost a couple of their games, they still have a Douglas down there. They have a Kamara in the central defensive area, and Coutinho pushes is a midfielder there, but of course, he's an attacking midfielder. He can score. McGinn is also there too. Ole Watkins, is always there too, and Hint. So they really, really present an attacking kind of like problem for Arsenal in a way. If our defenders can be able to cope with that, do you think
Yeah.
Gabriel coming out from that mistake against Mitrovic? Do you think he can redeem himself in this game against Aston Villa?
Well, he's got to get it. If Villa get attacking, and if Villa have chances, he's definitely got a game on his hand. He'll have to. He'll have to deal with Ollie Watkins. Obviously, they've got Buendia. I feel like he should be able to show his qualities in this game 100%. I do like McGinn for Villa though. I feel like
Yeah,
he's like Tierney in the fact that he gets his job done. He's not always grabbing the headlines. He's not the
Yeah,
superstar player.
he's not the
Um,
superstar of the team.
people will
Ings
be,
will always take the glory.
yeah, people might
Coutinho
look
will
at
always take the glory
Louise.
too.
Yeah, people look at Douglas Louise, talk about Louise, but McGinn gets the job done. He's a great player for them. Like I said, like Tierney, they do the jobs quietly, but they do it properly. So he's
Properly.
obviously one to watch. And then Buendia, similar to Odegaard, the way he plays, obviously not as good, but he does the job. He does his job. Ollie Watkins is a similar striker to obviously what similar striker to Mitrovic. They do a similar job. Again, though, not as good. I feel like Mitrovic is
No,
at the
not as good as Mitrovic
yeah,
anyway. Yeah, yeah, I get that. Because
yeah. So he's not that old.
Mitrovic poses a very very different problem to that Arsenal back four. He wields lots of those dark arts, that dark artistry. It has that,
Yeah,
but I'm not really sure any Aston Villa player has that dark artistry,
obviously,
in
obviously
them.
Mitrovic is just up for the fight. In there, you're having a battle with him. He's gonna get stuck in. He's gonna be on your back, on your
Exactly.
shoulder all the time. Watkins
Yeah.
can get goals. Obviously Ings, if Ings is fit, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Ings
if
will
Ends is
goals,
fit.
but they need you need attackers to actually get stuck in against the Arsenal lads. I think because
What's the
just
importance?
not
uh,
going well.
Because we really need to get to Arsenal's point here. We're facing an Aston Villa that has an Ends, has a Contillo, has Douglas. They might also bring in Buendia, and also Watkins. But of course, like I just told you, their back four doesn't inspire any fear in anyone. So we do need our wingers to be to show no respect to these people. So who are the wingers we have? We have a Gabriel Martinelli, and then we have Osaka. And in our last four games, Saka has been invincible. I've not really seen him. He's been so quiet. Yeah, of course, he makes one or two runs. He even had an assist in the weekend, but this is not the Saka we know. What's really happening to Saka, and how do you see him really fitting in and getting us either some good assist against Aston Villa tomorrow, or at least a goal?
I feel I don't feel like we'll play the exact same first 11. We've been pretty much unchanged, barring injuries to Zinchenko and Partey, which meant obviously Tierney come in and Elneny come in. I feel like we could see a couple more changes. Feel like Saka might be one to maybe I think he'd start, but might come off a bit earlier. I expect to see Marquinhos. I feel like this could be his game for a debut.
Yeah, like Makino should be given a chance in that
Yeah, me as
team.
well.
I've seen him in the under 23s or 21s. So
Bossing it. Absolutely
he's
bossing
good.
it.
He's ready
Yeah.
to run. Because
I feel like
see, yeah, I'm not taking a pop at Saka, but it's kind of like I pity him in a way. This is a young guy. Last season, all Arsenal goals threat came from him. Uh, he ought to be injured in my own evaluation last season, because the amount of kicks he was getting last season, it was a target, for fouls from opposing teams. So I really feel like Saka is tired. But in as much as he's tired, we also need replacement in that area that can be able to challenge a Saka, because I'm still in this realm. I still believe that Saka is too young to have an automatic shirt in that Arsenal team. I do believe that he should have serious competition for that wing. Oh,
I feel like there
am
should
I
be
not making sense in this?
I feel like there should be competition for every single position, and I feel like at the minute that's what we're lacking. The first 11 are performing well, but looking at the bench, who's competing for the positions, I feel
Yeah,
like that's where we're lacking. Where we need that winger fighting Saka and fighting Martinelli. We need
yeah.
a centre midfielder, defensive midfielder fighting the defenders. We need another out and out right back fighting Tomiyasu, and obviously Ben White's doing a job there, but we know he's not out and out. We need get Tomiyasu back, and we need maybe a right back who's fighting him properly. I feel what I've heard that Cedric is going to be going in the next couple of days. So is it then it's going to be Tomiyasu and Ben White? We're going to be understaffed there if there's an injury.
Yeah.
We definitely need a centre midfielder. I'm fuming that Panquetta's gone to West Ham. I'm
It,
honestly
it, like,
fuming.
what is the problem with Edu?
I don't get that one.
Why didn't you bring in Paqueta? And now he's gone to West Ham. Like, I really feel that Paqueta has certain skill set that Yuri Tillemans doesn't.
I feel
Paqueta has that pace. He can run through players. He could dribble.
yeah,
He has an eye for for a pass. He could
Pac-
look balls in. He could look diagonals, verticals. He's that
yeah.
good, and he could also help you out defensively. Why is Arsenal, or why didn't Arsenal get Paqueta? This is a problem for me.
We
Like,
were linked.
what is this?
We're linked with Paqueta the same amount as we were linked with Bruno Guimaraes who's gone to Newcastle, and two signings that Paqueta's going to light up the Premier League exactly like Guimaraes has at Newcastle. And why we've not picked up one of these two, I've no idea. Hopefully, it's because they've got someone else. I can't see it myself,
I
but
can't see it
um,
myself, but there should be
hopefully
something
that's
that
what it
makes
is.
them not to go get Paqueta. Ryan, I would just give you a flash score of what is going on right now. Southampton.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Southampton is leading Chelsea 2-1
Keep that
with
up. Keep that up.
Lavia scoring in the 28th minute and Armstrong just scoring just a minute into the final moments of the first half. Armstrong scores that goal, and Raheem Sterling scored a goal in the 23rd minute. So
Yeah, so Southampton have
Chelsea were
turned back
actually
home.
leading 1-0. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
this is this is happier times. It's happier times.
Keep
I
that.
really like
Keep
it
that
when our
going.
rivals are really losing these games, and it would be such a good sight if Chelsea can come out from that game losers. But let's don't laugh, because if we laugh now, the mainstream podcasters will come on and they'll definitely have something to say. What do you think, Chelsea losing that game? If Chelsea do lose that game?
Well, it's only half time, so we'll see. But hopefully, it'll either stay the same or Southampton can get another couple of goals, stick the nail in the
Yeah.
coffin with Chelsea. I
Ryan,
mean, they went to Leeds, didn't they? They couldn't turn Leeds over. Is the same going to happen at Southampton? Who knows? Hopefully, it does. Who knows?
Ryan, we missed Thomas Partey, and we also missed Zichenko in the last game. And now we're facing an Aston Villa. Instantly, we saw the effect of Thomas Partey, because I'm very, very indifferent when people tell me, like, oh, Thomas Partey, he doesn't do much for that team. But last weekend really showed you what Thomas Partey brings to the table. Thomas Partey brings that stability down there to that midfield. He enables Granit Xhaka just run smoothly with his newfound position offensively, running in between those
Yeah,
lines and helping our offensive play.
yeah,
And
100%.
we've also seen, what Zichenko does in that team too. While Granit Xhaka takes those deep dying runs, dashing runs offensively, he leaves that back four. He leaps into that midfield. He covers Granit Xhaka. And when Granit Xhaka is coming back, maybe during a counter attack, he kind of like, hasten things up and get back, dashing into that back four, helping our defensive mechanism. What do you say? Don't you think we really need these two in the next game?
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're saying. Injuries they're going to leave us Fred absolutely bare. Partey does a very sound job. Like you say, he's not a headline hitter like the others, but he just does exactly what they're supposed to do, mopping up, and his passing spot on. He improves the team when he's playing, but an injury, like we're saying, an injury to him, if him and Zaka are injured at the same time,
Yeah,
we're going to be left short. We was left short last season in the striker department and others. Hopefully, they're not going to leave us short again. Hopefully, they've learned on their issues last season. We were good. We were good pretty much throughout, but then we let Olber go and only had pretty much one striker. So
yeah,
hopefully we don't do that again. We need to bring in that replacement CM, because if we're left
yeah,
with El Nene and Lakonga, we're
yeah.
going to struggle. We're going to struggle.
Yes, and now we have Dejispurs. He's back, guys. He's back. The lyrical Van Helsing is back, guys. He's back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Well,
Welcome back.
thank you very much for the kind intro, and Ryan, it's a pleasure to see you.
Finally,
The shirt
that's Ryan.
shirt is hurting my eyes. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. But apart from
Yeah.
that,
There's a couple. There's a few.
yeah. I mean, mate, you know, what I mean, it's not something I'd be proud to be sharing to the public, but you know, that's
Guys, he's back. He's back.
Ryan,
Hey,
no,
DJ.
how you?
Ryan. What do you think will be the prediction for our match against Aston Villa coming up tomorrow?
Hopefully we attack like we've been doing in the past few games. Attack from the off, grab an early goal, and then who knows? Honestly, 3-0, 4-0 wouldn't surprise me at all.
But what will be the score that best suits you? What do you think Arsenal
4-0,
is coming up with?
4-0. We'll go 4-0.
4-0. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You
That's
win
a huge.
4-0.
I can see the smirking already in Deji Sports' face.
But what
The
you saying,
way he
lad?
kind of like just scoofed at that 4-0.
Well, I'm just thinking to myself, not being funny. You know, if Arsenal win 4-0, I think Gerrard loses his job. I see why Ryan has said what he said. Aston Villa have had a terrible start to the season. Just so you know, caveat this: I'm actually swapping my prediction of Aston Villa with Crystal Palace. You know, both teams had the same colours, so please forgive me for doing that. But yeah, Villa haven't been good. Gerrard hasn't really found his strongest 11. I see Arsenal winning. Look, I've said it on other shows, other streams.
Yeah.
If Arsenal don't win their first 9 games, it's a disgrace, to be honest. I'm going to say it here.
Are you
What?
are you
Yeah.
serious?
Honestly,
You see, Ryan. This is the problem with the Premier League.
Yeah,
This is the
always,
problem
it'll
in the
always
flesh.
do this. It'll
What's that?
always
This
do
is
this.
the problem in the
We'll
flesh.
have to add on so many things that we have to do.
No, we're not,
We
mate.
had to win one game, or we had to win
I'm not-
another.
I'm
but
not
now we
being
have to win
funny. I'm
9.
not-
So we have
We
to
won
win
9,
20
we have to
games
win
before you
20,
take us seriously.
Let's just keep
Like,
it
why
Let's
in the
just-
world?
let's
Why
just
in
be-
the world
let's just be
are
honest.
these teams and this fan base
Can
not
I- can
taking
I-
us seriously?
Can I just make this
If
point?
it was Man City that won all their games,
let's be
the
real,
4 straight games,
and I
you
don't
guys would
think
take them
any-
seriously.
Look, I don't think any gooner can lie that the gods, the footballing gods, is really looking down on your club for the first 9 games of the season. Ryan, true or false? Arsenal, hands down, has had the easiest start to the Premier League season by fixture. And I think,
all right.
I think
One
it's
thing then.
such a disgrace what Bournemouth have done to Scott Parker, given that he beat Villa and he's had to play Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. It's a disgrace what Bournemouth have done, and I hope they don't get any points and they go straight back to the Championship, because it's an absolute disgrace what that board is doing there.
No,
mate.
but I'll tell you what is. I'll tell you what's a
Had a great
disgrace.
run.
What's a disgrace is losing 9-0 to Liverpool.
No, mate.
How dare you go
Bournemouth
capitulate
did not give
like
Scott
that?
Parker
9-0.
any money to
Where is
buy
the
decent
coaching? Where is
players.
the responsibility? Where is the mental strength? Where is the mental strength? Where is the hunger?
Hunger. Have you not
Where is the
seen
hunger?
what
No,
you
I'm
can't
serious. I'm serious
so do
because
they expect to beat Liverpool? Did they expect when the fixtures came out and they saw that they had Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Aston Villa? How many points do you think Aston Villa said to themselves, oh, they're realistically going to take? They were hoping for 3 points. They were hoping for 3. Any more than that is a bonus. The only game they thought they could take point was Villa, and they took points from Villa. There you go.
I don't feel like it's 100% a results-driven decision, though. I feel like he's come out in his conference and he's gone against the board and he's said that the transfers aren't good enough and he's had a go at the owners and stuff. So I think he's done that twice now as well. So I think they've just had enough of him. But 100%, they didn't expect to win. They hoped for a win against Villa. I don't think they even expected that, but
yeah.
It's tough.
No,
It's so tough.
But again, I don't know why everyone is taking pity at Scott Parker. Why? Like why?
Wow.
This guy was he was the former coach of Fulham, and they were being beaten everywhere in the Premier League. And he was sacked by that same team. And now look at the Fulham team that came to Arsenal. Look at how they're set up. They're set up in a way to frustrate teams. Now that's the difference between a good coach and a rookie coach.
I'm going to take issue with that statement. Anyone that brings a team up in the Premier League from the Championship deserves to have a fair crack at the whip. You can't lose your job, regardless of what they've said in the media. You can't lose your job after 4 games, given that 3 of those games was Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. I mean, are you crazy? These are the 3 attacking teams, arguably the 3 best footballing playing teams.
But to go down 9-0, come on, man.
It happens, bro.
To go down 9-0, just like that.
But
like,
what I was saying,
they didn't show any fight. They didn't show any fight.
Arsenal,
see, Deji. When you kind of like when you lose team and when you lose team and the whole team kind of like lose focus, you need to find inspiration from somewhere, right? Scott Parker isn't giving them that inspiration, because if they go down like this with that 9-0, they will put their heads down. They won't want to fight again. They would say, okay, all these teams just come and beat us. Let's just go down that drain. And of course, if you're an owner of a club, you have to take this chance and make those changes.
Maybe
that's how I see it. Unless your team will go down again.
Yeah, but they didn't take the chances, and the point I was wanting to make. I could see Arsenal fans shaking, and just so you making myself clear. Arsenal, what an absolute disgrace. The scenes that I was seeing at the end of the Fulham game. I mean, to be honest with you, it made me sick. So we had Arsenal players touring the stadium after beating Fulham. Like it was the last game of the season, or like you just bloody won the cup. Let's be real. The footballing gods have been kind to Arsenal for the first 9 games. Your first real match is against Spurs on the 1st of October.
My blood boils whenever Dejispurs comes up to the show in a good way.
Hold on. Should we talk about Basuma after the Chelsea game? How Basuma was acting after the Chelsea game?
Yeah. Let's talk about disgrace. Let's talk about disgrace.
But how did Chelsea come at Spurs? They were coming at us like it was war, and we managed to get a draw in war. Did Fulham come at you like it was war? No, they're not.
You're allowed to celebrate.
No. Just when you were doing good before now, Deji. You were doing good before now, Deji. You just blew everything off. You were doing great before that statement right now.
Wow, really?
You were doing good. You remember? You remember when you said that to me? It's a rebuttal, man.
I expect Arsenal to win 3-1 tomorrow. And if you don't win 3-1, just know I'll be live on this show giving you some hella smoke to the both of you. So you better.
Aston Villa is going on toast
No
tomorrow.
excuse.
Aston
No
Villa
excuse.
is going on toast tomorrow. See, in case you've not gotten the memo already, Deji, Arsenal is winning the league this season. I don't. Ryan doesn't share that. Maybe Ryan doesn't share that with me. But Arsenal is winning the
you know
league
what? I
this
wanna
season. Like, see,
I want to
see.
speak to Ryan. I want to speak to Ryan.
Go for it. Go on.
Go on, Ryan. Ryan, did you hear Claude's statement? What is your view?
Big up to the confidence. Big up to the confidence. What do you want? What do you want? A prediction from me?
Right. You know what? We're gonna turn this show. What's this show called? What is this called?
Ryan and Claude show.
Right
The
now,
Ryan and Claude show, but right now it's both of them. It's both the minority and the Ryan and Claude show.
This show is gonna be called Saving Private Ryan. Okay, Saving Private Ryan, because I'm not having it. You guys think you're gonna win the league. It's not happening, and my job is to come on every Tuesday and to save Private Ryan, because Ryan, we know that ain't happening.
Right.
There's no chance. Let's get out of this.
Okay.
Easy period, and then we'll take it from there.
Right. So let's all right. So we'll quickly go back a couple of weeks to the first Minority Report. One game in, Spurs are sitting top of the league on goal difference, and I remember who's top of the league? Who's top of the league?
Who's top of the league? Yeah, you know those antics, right? You remember?
Who have you played? You guys are top of the league, but you've not played any of the big guns.
He was one game in. We're four games in. Four games in. He was one game in. We're still there.
But Ryan, where's Spurs in the league? Where are we in the league?
Not a clue. Not a lot. Why would I look?
Why should he care?
Let me help you. Let me help you.
Why should he care?
Let me help you, Ryan. We're third. Yeah.
Okay.
The only points we dropped was at Chelsea, where we got a point. Yeah. You ain't played any decent team yet. So that's what I'm saying to you.
Deji, how dare you talk about decent team? The Chelsea team you're talking about right now is currently on toast with Southampton. Southampton is currently leading Chelsea as we talk right now.
Let me just say this.
Are you serious? Fulham that you're bashing right now are currently leading Brighton 2-1.
I don't want me and Ryan to fall out. Let me qualify. I think my name has gone ahead of of me, and I haven't been treated fairly. All I said was, if you listen to what I said I expect you guys to win your next 9 games, and that was taken as an offense. But actually, what you should be seeing is that Dejispurs has changed his view of that team. Because before, I thought you guys were dead food. Now I'm saying, I think you guys could win your next 9. You should be able to win. You're good enough to win your next 9 games. Not good enough to beat Spurs, but definitely good enough to have a straight 3 points every game up until the 9th game. So what did I say that was so wrong?
No, but you just, when you say those things with that smirk on your face, you know that little smirk that comes off your face.
It was more you have to win the league, otherwise you're a dead club. That's pretty much what you were saying. You were saying, you have to win them because
you have to win them.
You weren't saying, I think you might win them. You were saying you have to win them, otherwise we're gone. We're dead again.
We're dead again. I totally
agree.
So that's different to what you've just said. You just said that you thought we might win
incredible.
it. But
the fact that I'm even saying that, Ryan, is a privilege.
I'm so privileged you're saying that. I'm so privileged. I'll put me drink up to you. I'm so
yeah. Deji, cheers.
If I had a hat, I'd take it off to you, brother. If I had a hat, I'd take it off to you.
Ryan, Dejispurs is a problem in this niche. It definitely is a problem.
How?
He comes out, Dejispurs was on One Touch TV, shout out to them, and he publicly declared, just like a king will make a public declarant, and he publicly declared that Tottenham would win the Champions League and would win the league. And at that point, they've not even won a game. We haven't even started, this season. And that's what he openly said. And that was just because of Son, Richarlison, and Kane in his head. And suddenly,
what's changed?
he's backtracked on all those stuff.
No, I haven't backtracked. No, get
He's
it right.
backtracked on all those stuff.
I have not backtracked.
He's eating and humble pie.
I've not backtracked.
You need to backtrack then.
And Ryan, trust me. Ryan, trust me. By tomorrow,
do you think Tottenham will get out of their Champions League group?
You know what? By tomorrow, West Ham will expose you.
Oh, look at this nonsense.
Because we're going straight into that. By tomorrow, West Ham will expose you and expose the frauds that you guys are in. It's a typical London derby. It's a great one. Right now, we only have, at least I'm very, very happy that Son isn't firing. It is more or less useless. We have to talk about Son and his influence in your team right now. You're having a pretty much bad first halves. You're just coming into the second half with determination, of which it's Conte causing all those things. But you need a team that's going to break your will, break your strength. And I think West Ham is going to do that to you tomorrow.
So there's something that we're going to do. Let me just pop a couple of myths. And, this is happening here as an exclusive here on the Tony and Ryan show.
Headline.
It's also the Minority Report. Minority Report right now.
Report, but
it's your show now.
Tonight. So let me tell you what's happening. And a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the motivated opponent and that teams play well when they're motivated. Now, Tottenham have two teams that they play every season that love to play us. One of them is Chelsea. The other is West Ham. So I'm not going to lie to you. In terms of tomorrow's game and my prediction, I'm going to be very cautious because West Ham, when it comes to Spurs, these guys turn into Barcelona, everyone else. And look, the proof's in the pudding.
Deja,
all these excuses. Ryan, are you seeing these excuses?
No. How long has Tottenham been a big club?
It's the same thing with Klopp. The pitch was dry. There was rain on the pitch.
Turn up against the big clubs, and you have to deal with the.
But I'm just saying that happens all the time. No, but like when we play you,
that's what Fulham did at weekend.
When Arsenal and Spurs play, when Arsenal and Spurs play, there is utter discontent on both sides. Apart from when you play Spurs, which other team do you play that has utter discontent for you? Exactly. No one. Whereas we've got Chelsea and West Ham as well as you guys. So 3 times.
What are you saying? We have a rivalry going on with Manchester United.
What I wanted to say to you.
What are you talking, Deji? Come on, man. Manchester United.
I get you've got closer clubs, but when we've been challenging, we've had the rivalries against the big clubs.
No, fair play. But that is about the fact that you and Man U at that time were the best 2 in the country. So you had that rivalry, a bit like Liverpool, Man City. But they don't have.
It's end friendly now. It's end friendly now.
Rivalry about winning the league, but it's not like and the discontent was actually with your managers, Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson.
To be fair, I was going to say about Chelsea was heated quite a bit, but mainly just because of Mourinho and his stupid comments against Wenger. I get that. I do speak to West Ham fans a lot, and they do hate Tottenham just as much.
They hate us, and I don't know why. Because we don't give a shit about West Ham.
If he was on the outside looking in, you'd get why.
Well.
Ryan, what do you see happening to Tottenham tomorrow? Just tell me, what do you think is going to happen to Tottenham tomorrow? Son isn't firing. They're always having bad first halves. It's customary right now. What do you think is going to happen to them before we allow Dejispurs to spew his gospel?
Obviously, the way I do it, I'm a bit different to Deji. I'm not just going to go for the 100% juggler. I expect Tottenham to turn West Ham over. But like what Deji was saying though, if they don't, then you need to look into why. Because West Ham have started horrifically, the same as what Villa have. If we both don't turn the teams over, you're really seriously wondering how it didn't happen. But like obviously, I don't. Yeah, Son has started similar to how Saka has in a way, that they're both not being that 100% main man.
And he's unsettled. When they took him off in the game last weekend, he was angry. He wasn't happy. He showed what it means to be in a camp that's in disarray. He's not happy.
Tony,
He's going to cause a disruption in that camp.
And I want to say
there's a problem brewing
of our good friend Ryan. You know, one of the things I've pleaded with you over the last couple of weeks is if you could stop doing the Twitter and the kind of newspaper coverage. You know, would you mean he's not upset, he's frustrated with himself. But let me explain to you what Tottenham's doing. We haven't even come out of gear one and we're picking up points. So everybody in the league should be very scared, because if I was from the outside looking in, I'll be shitting myself, because sooner or later, you know Son's going to come good. You know Kane's going to come good. And bloody hell, Kulusevski and Richarlison, bravo, because they're playing some good football. What I will tell you is this. August is what I call the month of hot and bluster. Everybody's got full of energy. Nottingham Forest, bloody Brighton. Everyone's got energy because they're still fresh from pre-season. It's the beginning of the season. Everyone's running on adrenaline. The season really doesn't kick in until October. That's just real talk. What I've been seeing is that Tottenham is playing the long game. So we're not trying to do what you guys are doing, which is you guys are acting like the hare. Tottenham's acting like the turtle. Yeah? We are not going gun-ho at the beginning. What we're doing is we're pacing ourselves. It's not a sprint, the season.
Is that your excuse to not be winning?
But we're winning, mate.
No, Ryan, are you seeing what I'm talking about? Ryan, he's bringing all these excuses. The last time it was Chelsea our boogie team. And right now he's now saying that West Ham is something else. I don't know, invincibility. I don't know.
10 points. We're winning games. So
so what you're on about? So what's your point's invalid then?
My point being,
your point's invalid.
We are pacing ourselves
for
the season ahead. So we're not going gun-ho bluster. We're not doing an Arsenal where you're pumping all your energy at the beginning.
We're winning. You're not doing what we're doing. Winning all our games. Yeah.
But you're not doing what we're doing. He just answered you.
Remember,
you're not doing what we're doing. We're top of the league.
Listen. The big guns are also playing Champions League. So we're pacing ourselves, my guy. Next week, Wednesday, we've got Marseille. Yeah. So just.
But you'll be out of that in any way. But you'll be out of it soon anyway. But you're not winning it. You know, you'll be spotty when you play it.
We're just playing professional football and getting the points. After Christmas is when we're gonna hit the ground running, and no one can catch us, because you, Liverpool, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest would have all run out of legs and steam. That's what Tottenham do. You heard it here first on the Ryan and Claude show / Minority Report.
Honestly, I've never heard it.
For the season.
Ladies and gentlemen,
anything like that before.
Dejispurs, he's back, guys. He's back.
Ryan,
I've never heard anyone say.
I give you exclusives. I don't read stuff on Twitter. I don't do newspaper stuff. I give you my own thoughts and analysis from what I can see from my club.
Hey guys, newsflash!
I get that, I've never heard anyone
Brentford,
say
newsflash. There's a newsflash now. Brentford has just equalized against Crystal Palace, so it's a 1-1 draw there right now, and they're in the last few minutes. Newsflash again: Fulham is still beating Brighton, and Chelsea is still being defeated by Southampton. Oh wow! And Everton just equalized. So Leeds just equalized against Everton. So it's a draw with the Whites right now. Southampton is still leading Chelsea. So I'm pretty much in a good position right now with where Chelsea is. They're flip-floppers. And Deji keeps saying, who have you played? Who have you played this season? Well, look at Chelsea, the team that that they played with, and they are losing against Southampton, very poor Southampton team, 2-1, and this is the team you said you played, bro. The Arsenal team put Chelsea on toast. in preseason, 4-0. And their form isn't really
Bro,
good
talk
right
to me
now.
about
Look at
talk to me
Southampton
about
is
the
beating
league.
them.
I don't give a damn about your preseason. I don't care whether you guys were in Florida or even Samoa. I don't care. What I care about is what you guys are doing in the league. The only thing I can say is well done, Arsenal. You've played 4-1-4, and you have to you have to put some respect on it. The only thing I'm saying is the footballing gods have looked favourably upon your fixtures. That's all I said.
Okay,
And that is
Ryan, because Ryan will soon take his leave. So, Ryan, please just give us the banter club of the week before you go, and your final prediction for the West Ham and the Tottenham game and the Arsenal game versus Aston Villa. A total roundup and your banter club of the week.
Obviously, I'm not sure because we didn't properly say if we was going to consign banter club of the week to the big clubs. Obviously, we was giving it to United, and it'd be better to give it to like obviously rivals. But when the rivals are playing well, obviously you're not going to give it to a team because they've won. Even if they've scraped to win, scraping a win, showing a mentality to win. So you can't give it to a banter club. If I was going to give it to a club, I'd half-heartedly probably give it to Villa, mainly because they're sticking with Steven Gerrard. As soon as they get rid of Gerrard and bring in Sean Dyche, I've said it before, it's what they need to do. If they want to stay up, they need to bring someone like that in. Maybe that's what Fulham are looking to do. Not Fulham, sorry, Bournemouth. Maybe that's what Bournemouth are looking to do, bring in a stable manager to keep them up. I would say Dyche might not fit Villa because they might want to be pushing on. Gerrard's not the one. I've said it pretty much straight off. It's not. He doesn't seem a better manager than Frank Lampard to me. I think they were both on a par in the playing games, and they're both on a par in the managing games. That they don't seem good enough to me. So I will give it to Villa this week, but it's a bit half-heartedly in the fact I'd prefer to give it to a big club, just waiting for that week. That Spurs
waiting for that week when
they can get it.
Wait, seriously, patiently waiting for Spurs to
and obviously, like you were saying,
to capitulate.
Yeah, like you were saying, obviously, I do need to shoot and then let you get on with the minority. Just want to say, Deji, thanks for being here. Thanks for having you. Although you're a bit, you're a character, so we'll love to have you on the channel.
We love Deji here.
Yeah, anyone that's
to bring to the table.
Everyone that's watched.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Yeah, I will see you on the post game show. Yeah, bye. Deji Spurs, brother. It comes to me and you as always, man. No, bro. I'm just like the Joker when it comes to you. I just can't do. I just can't do without you, bro.
It's a pleasure. But I am saying that if Tottenham finish above Arsenal this season, then this show, the Tony and Ryan show, needs to turn into Saving Private Ryan, because I mean that's really what it is, and I'll be coming back in a couple of weeks on this show just to give an update and making sure that Ryan's all right. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Last week on the Minority Show, we had Marlon Bashment. He's a cool sports fan. He's a cool guy. I was thinking he was going to be like a minion, like a minion of Dejispurs or something like that. But this Tottenham fan in Marlon was a great guy. Like outside football, is the kind of guy like I would say, hey man, let's go, let's just drink some pint, in some bar or something. Very cool guy, the mouth of it had the heat in him. It had the heat in him, but the way he drops his heat and his bombs are slowly but surely. But you know what? I kind of like still miss that Dejispurs. There's just something, that was still missing, and bro, you're welcome to the show, man.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I feel like, I was missing, I'm apologies I couldn't make the show last week, because for me, I feel committed to this show, and there's a number of reasons why I feel committed. I feel like I have a job to do with you and a lot of the people in the chat, you know, in terms of educating you, the analysis, and really bringing you up to speed in terms of what Tottenham is doing.
Oh
And
my
the
God.
beauty about the journey that we're going on, Claude, is that when Tottenham do what they do, you would have had a front row seat. You know, a lot of the predictions, a lot of things that, you know, I said a lot of things that have happened before they've happened. Now, last week, this week, I think, or last week, we had the Champions League draw. All of a sudden, everybody's saying Tottenham should finish top of their group. And I'm saying to them, well. Say,
What do we have here?
so, you know, put some respect on it. You know what I mean? I told you, do not sleep on Tottenham. Tottenham are picking up points without playing well. That is a very, very scary thought because you know they're going to come good soon. That's Tottenham.
Definitely.
That's what they do. And so you should be very afraid. And you guys are playing sexy football. You're doing everything you can, and you can't even pull away from us, bro. You can't even pull away from Spurs. And you guys...
Well, it's time, right? Because I still feel like tomorrow your skirts will be opened and you guys will be exposed tomorrow. I'm very happy with what's happening in your camp. You can sense that urgency when you guys are not really playing well. You know, you can just smell that. That pot turning and swarming. You know, you can just feel that heat coming. You know, you just feel it. So I just feel like if you meet a half decent team, that they will expose you. And mind you, Paqueta has just signed for West Ham. So it's not just going to be your normal West Ham team you're going to be facing tomorrow. You're going to be facing a strengthened West Ham team. And mind you, of course, they just got a win last weekend. So the confidence is high. Deji, I will just push you straight up into the hot seat of the Minority Report, our show. Tottenham is third with 4 games, 9 goals, 3 goals conceded, and then you're facing West Ham, who has only won 1 game in 4, conceded 5, with just 1 goal that they've been able to put into the back of the net. With this little statistics, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow as you square up against the West Hammers?
Well, bro, like I said to you, I think there are only 2 teams that I worry about, in all honesty, when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur. And I've said it, and I've been very consistent. Chelsea and West Ham. I've been saying that from day dot. The reason why I worry is because they find energy from somewhere. That energy, that, let's be real, that energy that Chelsea came at Tottenham with, where is it? Because since that game, they've not played the same.
At all.
But you're going to see a different West Ham tomorrow against Tottenham. You're going to see a West Ham that is doing all sorts of stuff, turning into Barcelona under Pep. That's the West Ham you're going to see tomorrow. And then I always ask them, and for what? So you put all your energy to beat Spurs, and then you get relegated, or you finish very low in the table. So for me, I'm not going to lie, I do not have high hopes for tomorrow's game. I think Tottenham will squeeze out a 2-1 victory. I feel like West Ham don't have enough creativity to break us down, but we have the quality in Son, Kane, Kulusevski, or Richarlison that we can score on the other foot. So I see it being a tight game. It could be.
I have a problem with Son, but I'll allow you finish so that we could talk about Son right immediately after that.
Go ahead.
See, man, we saw what happened last weekend. Son is unsettled. His performances has been criticized, not by me, man. You know, I'm just a passenger. I'm just a preacher. You know, I'm talking from the mainstream media. You know, the guys that that make things work in this niche that we're in. They're all criticizing Son. They're all slagging him. Personally, I think, of course, Tottenham is my rival, but if I want to speak objectively, I think those comments are kind of like coming from a very, very bad space. I
I
think they
don't.
are distasteful because he has had a very, very good season. He turned up for you guys when you guys needed him last season. He turned up teams. He went to different places and got good goals for you guys, both home and away. That's how consistent he
Look,
is.
Son,
Now
Son,
I don't know. Now I don't know what is really happening with him. You're in the best position to give me that, Deji. What is wrong with Son? Is the age catching up with him, or is just having a bad day in the office?
I think what you got to understand is that Son is a legend. He's a quality player, and he's going to do his thing. This is not uncommon for Son. I've got a couple of theories that I would like to tell you what's happening, and this is where you've heard it here first. The first
Yeah.
theory is that Son doesn't have a season where he doesn't have a blip. The difference with this year is that he started with his blip. Usually, Son starts well, dips, and then finishes strong.
And then
In most
finishes
seasons.
strong. Yeah,
But
exactly.
he never starts slow. This is the first time where Son has started slow. Usually he'll start strong.
Shadow.
There was one season, 3 or 4 seasons under Pochettino, he got to 12 goals and then he just didn't score. He scored like 5 towards the end, but there was a big gap in the middle where he just didn't
Yeah,
score. So this
yeah,
up and down has an impact. The second thing is, I'll be real with you. I
yeah.
think the Richarlison factor has had an impact on him.
Exactly. It's getting into his head, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, he knows that Richarlison has come in for his side, which is the left side striker.
Yeah,
Richarlison being Richarlison, he sees it as a challenge. So when people are saying to me, do you think Richarlison's going to do something? This guy believes in himself so much that I have no
so
doubt
much.
he's going to do something. But I think it's rattled Son because he knows if he doesn't play well, he will be replaced. And you know what that does on your psyche? It can throw you. So I feel like he's been destabilized, but he will restabilize. It's not so major where the alarm bells are ringing. The alarm bells are not ringing. But I also think it's a good thing for him because also what we're seeing is that a lot of the teams, because of last season, they are
Yeah,
doubling up on Son. So that side of the pitch that he's on,
yeah,
they're doubling up on him. So he doesn't have the space that he had last season. So Son also needs to switch it up. It might even be nice to see Son go to the right and have Richarlison left, just to change it up and provide another dynamic. Son is two-footed anyway. He can play left, he can play right. So I think that's what we're seeing. But I do think the Richarlison factor has destabilized him, rattled him in the sense that he's overthinking things. He's
yeah,
overthinking with his touches. I've seen Son be so greedy in that first game against Southampton. He could have squared the
yeah.
ball to Kane 3 times and he took wild shots. That's when I knew that, okay, this guy is a bit rattled because
It's
he's
a bit
trying to
rattled, right?
score to keep his position. And that's football. Football is about competition. I'm telling my son today, who's 7,
Yeah,
he's at Colchester, and I'm telling him, look, you have to be the best. If you're not in the top 3, these guys won't call you back. And he's crying and he doesn't like it. But that's
yeah,
football, and that's a 7-year-old. So how much
yeah.
more Son, who's a world-class footballer?
World class footballer, and of course we're wishing your son well because when he has a dad like you, that inspires lots of people. He can only come good. So just give him our hopes and you know just let him know that he can make it, and that's your job. Deji, you just told us about Son right now. Now it's not just about his goal scoring capabilities. In his other in last season, even when he was not scoring, he was contributing to the over, to the joint offensive play. He was always contributing. Uh, just like when Conte brought in Richarlison in the last match. You can see what he did. Immediately he hit the ground running. He was running. He was causing problems. He provoked, just like I told you, he's an agent of chaos. He always wants to turn up every time, wherever he is. He loves to turn up. And Son is seeing all these things. He's not scoring goals, and he's not even having those, those little performances here and there
I,
that could be able to,
I think that's a bit hard. I think
like, okay, he's not scoring goals, but he's contributing to the
no,
overall play.
one thing about Son is that I love his character. This guy is as big as Beckham in the Asian world. Son can't. They got to close the airport when this guy comes into town because he's so big.
I get, yeah, I totally
And
get,
he's
yeah.
the most humble, loving guy ever. I mean, you heard Conte talk about the fact that he loves this guy so much that if his daughter was to marry someone, he would want his daughter to marry someone like Son. And that is the highest praise. Speaking from someone who has 4 daughters, that's the highest praise you can bestow onto any gentleman. He was making some fantastic. Son doesn't just score goals. His overall play
His
is what
overall play is quite good, but
he's
it's
running.
missing. It's
He's
missing.
been
That's the
making
problem.
runs. No, he's not missing. He's been making those runs. He's been making passes.
Where? Deji, I'm not seeing those
If you
runs.
look at the game against Nottingham Forest, he had a shot in the first half that just went over the bar. He had a shot in the second half that just missed. If you look at the Wolves game, he hit the post. I mean, that on another day, on another season, last season, those things go in.
Go
It's just
in. Yeah,
it just hasn't
I
landed.
get that. I get that.
And Son was scoring more difficult chances than the ones he's missing at the moment. That's just the truth. But his overall gameplay has been helping Tottenham in our win. One of the things you got to realize is that people are scared shitless of Son. That's the truth. So they play, even though they play the high line, they can't really play it with the full gusto that they would like to, because they know that if Son is there and he gets that ball, it's a disaster movie. And if you look at the first goal that Tottenham score against Nottingham Forest, Son is running in front of Kulusevski. The Nottingham Forest are running towards Son, which is why Cooley is able to make that reverse pass into Kane, and he buries it. So,
what a beauty that goal! Oh my God, from Kulusevski. We need to get into that. But here, Michael Harris. Deji, please, you have to take a pop at him back. I'll give you that chance. He says Deji should go on X Factor. He's a comedian. What do you say to Michael Harris?
I take that as a compliment from
Yeah.
Harris, someone who enjoys these shows and Britain's Got Talent. I take it. At the end of the day, I've made a number of predictions on this show,
Yeah.
and we're in week 4, going into week 5 now, and I'm yet to be proved wrong. My prediction was that Spurs could win the Premier League or the Champions League. I definitely was confident that Tottenham would finish above Chelsea. I mean, people had the audacity to tell me that after Tottenham drew with Chelsea, that somehow it was a disaster. Well, look who's laughing now, because it looks
Look
like
who's
Chelsea
laughing
is
now.
about
Yeah,
to
yeah,
lose to
yeah.
Southampton, which means that Chelsea have now lost 2 times already this season. Tottenham keep marching on. The fact of the matter is Arsenal's playing their best football in 4 years. Tottenham's playing their worst football in 4 years. And Arsenal can't shake us, baby. You just can't shake us.
No. I don't agree when you say you guys are playing your worst football. You guys are churning out results.
No, we're
You guys are
churning out
churning
results,
out
but
results.
we're not playing
No,
good football.
no. You can only be judged on the
We're not playing
points
good
you
football.
get, right?
Yeah,
You won't be judged by how you play, right? You'll be judged by the points you're putting on, right?
We've had a good start to the season in terms of points.
Points,
In
right?
terms of our actual play, it's been quite poor and pathetic.
It's poor, right? Yeah.
However, we've got the points, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and then Ola of the United family, of course. When Deji comes to town, of course, I swear Deji's a very funny guy. We'll love you here, bro.
I mean, I'm taking it as a compliment from United family, Ola. That's my guy right there. I totally appreciate him. And I agree. I actually United. We're not getting carried away by them. They were lucky against Hampton on the weekend. And look, Man United have got Arsenal on Sunday, and for me, it's battle of the bands. And we'll see which one of the Spice Girls is going to be out on top. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, Deji, that beauty of a goal Hurricane scored. I was like, how did Kulusevski see that pass? Like, this guy is no Santi Casola. This guy is no Mesut Ozil. Like, his eye for that cross,
But I think
uh,
you got to put
it
some respect
was
on it.
awesome. Like, I, I never really I never really looked at Kulusevski, you know, with that kind of
Aye.
passes. Yeah, like that kind of like elite, like an elite guy who could just, just have an eye for that, for that keen pass to just get across the 18. And the way he just found Kane out,
Yeah.
Kane was just at the right place at the right time in the second goal, but that first goal takes the cake. He just calmly slotted in that ball just outside the 18-yard box. What do you say to that?
Bro, and I say to you, what I say to that is I told you about Kulusevski before the season started.
Yeah, exactly. You said that.
People doubted him and said, was it just a first season wonder or half a season wonder, blah, blah, blah. And I said to you, Kulusevski is part of, I would argue that Tottenham's trio is the best in the league. I think they've proved it. I think Son is off form, but when Son comes back into form, which trio is better than them? And then I said to you that Tottenham's quartet with Richarlison is the best in the league. Kulusevski, put some respect on his name. He's only 22 years old, and he's a
Yeah.
bloody and he's the
Although
future.
it looks a lot more older
He looks
than
older.
22
His
anyway.
body looks
His
older, but
maturity, the way he plays, his runs, his
he's
keen eye for that pass, it's
He's
amazing.
he's Kulusevski is a class act, and it's a pleasure to have him in our squad. And to be honest, that's what gives Tottenham. That's why Tottenham don't have to play well and are getting results, because when you've got that kind of firepower on the top end of the pitch, you don't have
Yeah,
to play well to win, and we're not. And but they're doing what they need to do, and that's
to
the
do.
mark of a good team, that has good players.
Yeah. And see, Nottingham Forest were playing very, very well. The way they were, they didn't come out to, just it's a humble cake from you guys. They actually came out like we knew, that they will. Uh, but the way they played, their intricate kind of game that they played, I thought that they would keep that goal tally, within that one, that 1-0 score line. But
Yeah,
Harry Kane losing the penalty, he lost the penalty there, right?
yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
think it does anything? Do you think it affects his mentality in any
No,
way? Because
no,
Harry Kane have always scored all his penalties, most of the time. Do you think it affects him in any way?
not at all. And I'll tell you why. Because you could see at the end of the game that both him and Dean Henderson were actually laughing and joking about it. The thing is, what you got to also appreciate is that Dean Henderson's a bloody good goalkeeper. For me,
Yeah, yeah, I
he should
think
be
he is.
going. I think Tottenham. I've liked Dean Henderson for the last 3 years, and I'm saying, because Loris is like 37, the successor to Loris for Spurs should be Dean Henderson. He's that good of a shot stopper.
I
Uh,
rate him. I rate him.
and Kane, I think he alluded to the fact that out of all the goalkeepers that know him best, it's Dean Henderson,
Yeah,
because they used to train together, practice
in
at,
England. Yeah,
in England. So it's not a surprise. I think we wouldn't have been so relaxed about it had Tottenham lost the game. And you're thinking back to the penalty. But soon after, he scores that beautiful header from an exquisite ball from Richarlison. And he
yeah.
forgets all about that. The truth of the matter is, I don't think any player in history has had a career where they've not missed a penalty. Kane has missed penalties. He's just gone 5 years. It's been 5 years since he missed the last one. But
Yeah.
we all know that Kane, when it comes to penalty, he's a safe pair of hands, and that's just a fact.
Okay. Perisic started the last game. Perisic started the last game. He slotted into that midfield quartet.
Yeah.
Do you really think Perisic starting was good for that game?
I think
Usually
it
he
was,
comes in, in during the second half. Like,
I think I,
do you think it had any effect at
I
all?
think I think it was a mistake actually by Antonio
Conte.
Conte. I think when you're playing against Nottingham Forest, you know they're coming at you with pace and it's very gun ho. So I would have played Sessegnon just to match the speed of Nico Williams, running down that right hand side. I would have started Perisic at left back tomorrow against West Ham because I don't see West Ham having pace. I think it's 4-0. He doesn't have much pace on the
Much
kind.
pace, right?
But I can see Tottenham starting Sessegnon. So yeah, maybe it was a mistake. But Perisic, what Conte was banking on was not Perisic's defensive side per se. He was banking on the delivery in the box. But unfortunately, Perisic wasn't able to get in the box because that guy, Nico Williams, had him pinned really back.
Pinned,
So
really, yeah,
he was
exactly.
doing more defending than attacking, and I think that was the issue.
Yeah, I really thought that Romero, has recovered from his injury. I was really thinking that he would replace Sanchez in that back three. And mind you, there's also been some calls that they should be able to replace Dyer because he hasn't really been, throwing those diagonals down to Son, which is Son's,
Yeah,
power play most times. And even in some quarters, some Tottenham Hotspur fans were even calling for Langley to even start. What do you
yeah.
say?
I think it's very easy. I would like to see Longley start against Marseille. I think that's a game where no disrespect to the
Yeah.
French teams, but we're not really expecting much from Marseille. What I will say to you is this, though: let us put some respect on Sanchez's name. In the last 6 games that he started for Spurs, we have not conceded a single goal, and that's not a mistake. I think Sanchez is playing better than people give him credit for. And what I actually would like to see is it plausible? Is it possible to have Sanchez play in that right-hand side, Romero to replace Dyer, and then have Longley or Davis play on the left-hand side? This is an exclusive. I've not said this on any other stream or channel. But
Yeah.
I wonder if Romero can swap places with Dyer, because I don't believe Sanchez deserves to come out of the club, come out of the starting lineup simply because Romero's back. And also, Sanchez offers something that none of the back three have, which is he's actually quite quick. Just quite quick. And actually, he saved us against Nottingham Forest because of his legs, his speed. And I think in this day and age, if you've got a quick centre back, you really want to have them on the pitch, especially with the sort of pace. So if Sanchez can continue on this fashion, I can see him and Romero forming a formidable partnership, which could be very interesting.
Very, very interesting. Mind you, West Ham will be bringing out the stars tomorrow. Paqueta will be coming in. I think they'll be giving him a chance to play against you guys. A baptism of fire tomorrow. And mind you, with the already established players, I think the battle is going to lie between that midfield area, that midfield competition with Declan Rice, Soucek, Fornals, and Emerson. It's going to be an interesting dimension to see. And mind you, they also have a striker that they just unleashed into the Premier League called Skamaka. And Skamaka came for £35 million from AC Lazio. He's a very, very, very powerful striker. He runs, is pacey. It can cause most defenses in the Premier League problems, just like what he did against Aston Villa last weekend. And mind you, Bowen is also there. Where do you think the battle lies tomorrow, Dejispurs? Where would the battle lie?
I think you're right. I think the battle lies in the midfield. I think the West Ham midfield, I think Declan Rice is a class. I think he's a class act. I would love Declan Rice in our midfield. It would make me feel a bit more assured. He's just got an engine on him that is just crazy. He's able to go up and down, and I think Tottenham could do with him. I think that's where it is. I see Basuma starting tomorrow, and if Basuma starts, I think he can do that. I'm not too sure that Bentancur is the one to do that job tomorrow. I just feel like it needs a Basuma type, someone who can match Declan and out-muscle him in that middle of the pitch. The truth of the matter is we get outnumbered because of our system. So we've got Bentancur and Højbjerg, or Højbjerg and Bissouma, or Bentancur and Bissouma, and we get outnumbered in the midfield. And so the game is really going to be about which attacking trio is going to do more. Who's going to take?
Yeah.
Antonio, Bowen, and Lanzini against Kulusevski, Kane, and Son. I think it really boils down to that. And I think if West Ham are going to have a lot of the ball.
And these are fast, pacey players. These are fast. Lanzini is a fast, pacey player. Yeah. Declan Rice is good, of course. He mashes that midfield. And Bowen, he can get those runs into the 18-yard box. He's that quick. And Skamaka might just be, waiting in the ropes, ready to strike. Okay, I'll take you through this dynamic. When we saw Son come out of that game last weekend, and Richarlison coming in, and Richarlison actually helping play and helping Antonio Conte coordinate his game management with all his trickery and dark artistry. This season in that sports team, Deji, do you think that Antonio Conte can be able to coordinate that team to a certain level that everyone would be very, very happy with the kind of like gameplay, the time that they have to play? Bissouma has been coming from the bench, mind you. This is a high-profile player, a high-profile signing this summer. Do you think he's very, very happy coming into that Tottenham team? While he was in Brighton, he was always playing day in, day out. It was the muscle of that team. Now, coming into Tottenham, he's coming, from the bench. Same thing with Richarlison. He's coming out from the bench. And in Everton, he was a starter. They never went to war without him. And now he comes into a team that can actually do without him and can actually go to war without him. What are the dynamics for Conte keeping that team together?
Bro, it's a long season, and I think what you got to appreciate is that Tottenham are playing every 3 days. Yeah, so I've just told you we're playing tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
On Saturday, then we're playing Marseille next week, Wednesday. So there is enough games to embed the players. But I told you something, and people don't respect it when I told you this. I said, the way the Premier League is going, we're more likely to play the people that need to get up to speed in the Champions League than the Premier League. You remember me telling you that? I told you
said that.
Are more likely to. That's where they play that Joel Palmer kid, the striker, the midfielder at Man City.
Yeah.
Doesn't play Prem games, but he plays Champions League games. And so Tottenham, I can see that next week, I can almost guarantee that Richarlison, Sessegnon, Bissouma, Longley start the game against Marseille. And that's what he's going to do to get those guys to a level to prove to Conte that, you know what, I can trust these guys.
I'll be very careful with what you're wishing for, because Marseille just won their game last weekend. They're coming up with lots of confidence, and, I don't think you should kind of like relegate that game.
I'm not being funny, but there's only one team in France.
Okay. Deji, I'll take that. Deji, would you say that with the way you guys are playing your first half, because your first half has totally been lackluster, I'm now seeing your team as a second half team. Yeah. Because in the first half, you're not nicking in goals. You seem lost. And it's just when Antonio Conte comes in and shouts and has a shout at that team, that's when you guys have been inspired. Now, there will be time when that luck would run out, and Antonio Conte won't be able to keep those wheels of fear running through that team. And I think that's where you guys are going to have a problem.
I think that's a really unfair statement. I think what you got to understand is that what Tottenham...
But your first halves have been problematic. You know that. Would you admit it?
What the Tottenham team has decided to do is that we're not...
Deji, would you admit it that Tottenham has not been having good first halves?
We are not going to run like headless chicken in the first half of games against teams that are highly charged and highly motivated. That's what it is. We're not going to do that. We're going to let you run and like it's like arguing with someone that's angry. What do? Do you try to raise your voice and argue back, or do you
No,
let
you
the
try and
person?
calm things down. You try
Okay,
and
and
just
how
watch
do you
and
calm and how do you calm things down? What do you do?
personally, me, I just maybe take it slow a bit,
Okay, so what you do, you take it slow, but you let them finish.
make him see sense, and
Yeah,
let them finish.
exactly. So
Then
you let
I come
the
back with the
person who's
fire.
angry, shouting, you let them finish, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's
You
how
let
I
them
view,
throw away
and
the
that's how I
fire.
view the first half Tottenham's doing. Those teams are angry, they're shouting at us, then we let them finish. Once they finish, they got nothing. Nottingham Forest couldn't score. Wolves couldn't score after all that bluster, after all that energy, after all that stuff. They couldn't do
Please.
anything. They couldn't even score a goal. So Tottenham let them expend their energy, and then they pumped them. Simple.
Okay.
It's a game plan,
Deji, the
bro.
United family
Game
says
plan.
something to you here. He says the English Premier League is unpredictable. Anyone can get it. I think the West Ham game is a big test for sport. Exactly what I was saying, because Deji is not in the same realm. He's in a
What
different
do you
realm
mean?
altogether.
No,
I think he's in Cyclops realm. I don't know, somewhere in the metaverse. I don't know where he is. But let's see what let's see what the United family is saying here. And he says anyone can get it. I think the West Ham game is a big test for Spurs
that is
because they
lazy.
haven't been convincing with their performances.
You
What do you
know,
say to Ola of the United
let
family?
me, can I come back to that? The United family would say that because he supports Ajax United, and at the moment they can get it from anyone. Yeah,
I
no,
really need to get you in a show
United
with
family,
Ola of the
we're
United
not in,
family. It's going to be
we're not
blissful.
in the same league, mate. So you can get beat by these guys, but not us. Yeah, we're not in the same category. You heard me earlier say to Ryan that I expect Arsenal to win their first 9 games because those are winnable games on paper. So far, Tottenham were expected to beat Wolves. We were expected to beat Nottingham Forest. We were expected to beat Southampton, and we weren't expected to beat Chelsea.
Oh
And
my
we've
God.
delivered. You were expected to win all your games, Claude. Crystal Palace, Fulham, Bournemouth, Leicester. You were expected to beat them. So don't. I'm not getting carried away
Deji.
with stuff we
This
were
is my
supposed to do.
problem with you. This is
No,
my problem
no,
with you.
no.
Now you're not giving me the respect that I deserve.
What
I
respect?
just I just won 4 games in a row, completely turned up during those games. I have maximum points, 100%.
Bro,
4 games in, 4 games out.
I can't give you
I'm
props.
top of the league.
Let
I'm
me tell
top
you
of the
something.
league.
Let
And
me
my play is totally good.
okay.
I don't my
Let
last
me
game.
tell you. Let me tell you what I'm hearing from you and Tony Gerald. Let me tell you what I'm hearing. Are you there?
72% is 72% ball possession
This is crazy.
against Fulham
Okay, let me.
and 28 against them.
Yeah,
That's how it's going. No,
let me.
that's how it's going. That's our possession play.
I
And we've
don't think.
also turned
But
over other teams. And
You're
then
playing your team.
suddenly we're winning these games. We're top of the league. We've thrown these guys 4 in, 4 games in, 4 games out. Top of the league. Morale is high. The players are playing very well. Gabriels has scored goals. Martinelli has scored goals. My front line is doing good. Odegaard, my captain, is
Let me
doing
tell you.
good.
Look, let me tell
Before
you.
you said it was a shame that Odegaard
Tony,
was the
Tony,
captain,
let me
and
tell you.
suddenly
What we're
he's
not gonna
scoring
do.
goals, he's
Let me tell
throwing
you something.
passes.
It's funny.
Deji,
Let me tell you something real quick.
when
Let me
would
just make
you
this point.
attach respect to Arsenal's name?
I'll attach respect after you let me make this point. That's like my kids telling me, yeah,
Oh.
that's like me telling my kids, you should thank me for buying you
The
food
kid's card is out
and
again,
clothing
right?
you. No,
The
listen,
kid's card is out again, right?
it's like me telling my kids, you should thank me for clothing you and giving you food. That's what parents are supposed to do. You are supposed to beat these teams. So you can't get props for teams you're supposed to beat. Are you
But
joking?
this is
No,
the
no,
Premier
no.
League, bro. This is the
No, I'm
Premier
not,
League, bro.
I'm not
So
hearing that.
so now you
Those
mean
are the
that Fulham
games.
that took away points from the league, from the people you want to give the league to, Liverpool. So
I
you
don't
want to tell
agree.
me that Fulham is totally,
Fulham is
it's
playing
just
good football at the moment, bro. I'm not going to lie. But you should still be able to beat them, like Tottenham are playing Fulham on Saturday.
oh,
And I'm
Liverpool.
expecting Tottenham to.
Liverpool was not supposed to beat them, but Arsenal was
I'm
supposed to.
expecting
Bro, are
Tottenham
you
to beat them.
serious? No, are you serious? No, can you see
Liverpool
your
is,
argument?
bro.
Liverpool are not
If
supposed to beat
look,
them, but Arsenal
bro,
should
bro,
beat them.
can
Like,
I
where is
remind
the
you? Can I
consistency
remind? Can
in
I
this?
remind you, Tony, that you were wax lyrical about how sexy the football was against Bournemouth, the pressing, the interchange, this and that, and I said to you, bro, it's Bournemouth, and we know why, because Liverpool did what you should have done. Why didn't you put 5 or 6 goals past Bournemouth? You guys are getting happy over 3 goals, and you're wetting yourself. What is this?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dejispurs. Let's see some of these comments because we have to let Deji go sleep, family men and their lives.
I have to go on North side right now.
Oh,
Where
to
I have
North
to,
Side, right?
yeah, I have to give him some smoke real quick.
Some smoke too. Yeah. Ajax United or not Spurs has not been convincing so far, but Deji has his point. The important thing is the 3 point, and Spurs have been getting the point.
Put
Ladies
some
and gentlemen,
respect
Deji
on it.
Spurs. Deji, thank you for coming to the show. I know that today, has been a very, very busy day for you. Man, thank you very, very much for, gracing this show. Like I told you, this show belongs to me and you. We created this show, together. So, and you've been on it right from the second episode, and you've developed it till now. So thank you very much, Deji, man. And I
Thank
hope
you.
to see you next week. I don't know, but I would like you to come jump in with Ola one of these days. I don't know.
I will. I might have
This
to
would be
jump in
nice.
because we need to do a reaction on the Wednesday's games. So
Okay.
I'll connect with you and let you know. Provided everything goes well, I could join you guys on Friday. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Or Thursday,
Okay.
whatever it is. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we'll do that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much. As you could see, Deji Sports just graced our show today, and definitely he'll be here next week. As you see him in the
Nothing
flesh,
changed, my
the
pick.
uh, in
Nothing's
the
changed.
flesh, the Arsenal Slayer is signing off here. Thank you very, very much. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.